Worst economies in the world. Myanmar. Myanmar ranks as least competitive nation in the world despite the progress it has achieved since 2011, when the decades-long military rule ended. Since then, the once isolated country has opened up to the outside world. Myanmar's economy still remains behind much of the world, lacking many of the basic requirements for economic competitiveness. The nation has an inefficient legal framework, a lack of transparency in government policy making, and an extremely low quality of infrastructure, all major issues limiting its competitiveness. The availability of modern technology is also highly limited, with barely 1% of the population using the internet. Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, located in Western Africa, has one of the worst healthcare and basic education systems in the world. Malaria, a disease mostly eradicated in developed countries, is a major problem in Burkina Faso, with nearly a third of the residents suffering from the disease. Similarly, the country has one of the highest rates of infant mortality in the world at 81.6 deaths per 1,000 live births. The nation's enrollment rate of students in primary school is also among the lowest in the world. Also indicative of the nation's weak economy are its poor infrastructure and low scores for higher education and training. Mauritania. Mauritania was rated as one of the worst nations for higher education and training, which are necessary to develop a skilled and competitive workforce. In addition to a poor educational system, the nation also has some of the lowest secondary and tertiary enrollment rates in the world. The nation received poor ratings for its inability to attract talent or to pay to productivity properly match up, among other factors. However, Mauritania's worst problem may be the still prevalent system of slavery, which was only legally abolished in 1981 and officially criminalized in 2007. As recently as 2012, between 10 to 20% of the population, or as many as 680,000 people, were still enslaved, according to a CNN report on Mauritania. Angola. Angola spent more than a quarter century dealing with a bitter civil war that resulted in as many as 1.5 million deaths. Since the end of the civil war in 2002, the nation has become a major producer of oil and has been a member of OPEC since 2006. However, the country still lacks some of the key elements needed to promote competitiveness, including strong auditing mandates and corporate checks and balances. The nation also was ranked as having the lowest quality of infrastructure of any nation, with one of the lowest quality of electricity supply and relatively few mobile telephone subscribers, at 48.6 per 100 residents. Haiti. In 2010, Haiti was rocked by an earthquake that is estimated to have killed more than 300,000 people. The nation was hardly well off before the earthquake. It was already exceptionally poor and among the least developed nations in the world. Today, access to even basic requirements of a functional economy are limited. Haiti's ports and roads are among the worst rated in the world, while its electricity supply and telephone lines are also limited. Haiti also received poor scores for its limited judicial independence and for the limited trust in politicians, who are believed to be more likely to ask for bribes or misuse public funds than their counterparts in most other countries. Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone was one of only 3 other countries studied by the WEF to have a negative gross national savings score in 2012. It also had some of the worst inflation rates in the world, with consumer prices rising by 13.8% in 2012, higher than all but 8 other countries. In terms of healthcare, Sierra Leone consistently ranks close to the bottom. Malaria is relatively common, and there are more than 700 cases of tuberculosis per 100,000 people, a rate surpassed by only South Africa and Swaziland. Sierra Leone has the worst infant mortality rate, and the life expectancy at birth is just 47.8 years, the worst out of the 148 countries studied.